Start doing them like Bob Mackey from South Park, right? Okay. um, Trick question. What is made better than his ice lens, yet costs typically much less? And the answer is VOIGTLANDER. It's one everybody's been wanting me to review. I've actually got a couple copies of the older version of this lens, the pancake lens. This is a redesign to make it like an older AIS Nikkor lens, which means it's actually infinitely easier to focus. It is beautiful. I've actually got another copy over there. I'm actually borrowing this lens, and I'm keeping this one, the silver one. It comes in black or silver and black like this, where the extension is nickel plated, as you can see right here. 6 elements and 5 groups. The lens is currently $500 since it's a new lens. You're not going to find a used copy of it anywhere. Incredible. Now, the first things people are going to ask me about this, and of course I got plenty of experience with this particular VOIGTLANDER, is, well, how does it compare against your highest rated VOIGTLANDER 58mm f1.4 Nocturne? And the answer is it doesn't. That is a lens that is a step above. However, this has significantly different enough qualities and attributes that it is also a valid choice, as opposed to which versus this one. I know between 58mm and 40mm it becomes reduced to the point of, simple cash probably is the easiest statement to make as far as someone deciding between the two. And I certainly can say that it is the 58mm 1.4 Nocturne VOIGTLANDER, which of course you can find used copies of. However, the new copy is just like this, the AIS version, so much nicer and actually easier to autofocus, and it is all CNC machined, and it is brilliantly made. Not that the prior version was not also brilliantly made in the 58mm VOIGTLANDER. Check the Flickr page for this. The actual bokeh in this is soft and dreamy. It's what I would actually typify as ethereal. Contrast is rich. Micro contrast is high. It's perfect for black and white photography. And while it is taller than the pancake VOIGTLANDER, of which I have a couple copies of, yeah, I've got way too many lenses, I know. It's only, I believe, I measured about 12 millimeters higher in its collapsed position at infinity. This, of course, is on an adapter. The actual lens right here is only this. This is just the adapters that I have on a Fuji. This is a Nikon. Now this is a Nikon f-mount lens, so right now I just have it adapted to using on a Fuji, which is brilliant. So it's basically a 60mm field of view f2. It's actually a perfect little street lens for use on a Fuji. However, this is a Nikon lens. Not only that, it is a CPU'd lens. So when you actually mount it on a Nikon, the actual Nikon camera that you mount it on will recognize it as a 40mm, and also the aperture that you have it set at, so you can use it in aperture priority and shutter priority as opposed to a non-CPU lens. On a scale out of 1 to 10, as far as value, I give it about a 6.5 roughly. That's subjective, and God knows I've oh Lord, I've definitely tried more VOIGTLANDER lenses than anybody else on the tube, or any other photography forum that I know. As far as in the spectrum of awesome lenses to be adapted or just straight out for Nikon use, yeah, about a 6.5. As far as an adapted lens, of course you are buying a CPU contact lens and sticking on it a dumb adapter, but so you are paying for something that you're not actually using if you're going to use it with a Fuji. But however, the totality of the cost, since it is a CPU lens versus not having that feature, is probably only about $30 or $40 into the integration of this lens for use as a Nikon. I believe it's also available on a Canon mount, but this is a Nikon mount. Importantly so, and I really do mean this seriously, because I've stated in the past, literally the best customer service is Robert's camera. However, Robert's camera doesn't carry VOIGTLANDERs like this, but I'm not dissing the folks up in New York City who you could get this from, but I'm going to put a link below, and it's shop.cameraquest.com, is the actual official importer in the United States for VOIGTLANDER lenses. He's a guy that you're going to get real customer service from. He's going to pack it well, and everything's going to be taken care of. Seriously. I get nothing back from him, no kickbacks. I have no hot links or affiliate links. Whatever you buy or wherever you buy it from, and then makes no difference in my bottom line as far as what I recommend. My point is that he's a guy that I support and you should support. Instead of like feeding money into the gigantic Goliath of some entities up north, of which we all know, why don't you actually buy it from the actual official USA importer for Voigtlander at cameraquest.com. His website is shop.cameraquest.com. Whatever Voigtlander you buy, but I know a lot of people wanted me to review the 40mm. Also, by the way, I did want to mention you also get that from there. I just have it adapted since it's a 52mm. It's the most brilliant lens hood, period. And it fits so tight that, and we're talking metal to metal here, and it is felt lined right here on the inside of the cap. It's a metal cap and a metal lens hood, made by Voigtlander. It is made in Japan. This cap is actually specifically made for this Voigtlander 40mm f2, but I just have it adapted. I also bought this brilliant 50mm lens cap. It's just so nice. 50mm, of course, fits countless lenses of mine. That's why I bought one. Even here, just Japanese precision. It's just, it's silk. You can't hear anything. It's just silk. I love precision stuff like that, especially a felt to metal to metal, frictionless, smooth. Man, Americans don't make stuff like this. The Japanese do. Some Germans still make stuff like this. Yeah, I thought I would point that out to you. Those are also found on shop.cameraquest.com. Anyway, it's the Voigtlander 40mm f2, the new AIS styled version of it, which is a lot easier to focus. I don't know if you know about the pancake 40mm, but there's actually a really thin knurling. And if you go to reach up for your lens to hit something really quick and focus in, it's highly likelihood that you're going to miss the actual ring and dial it in if it's something you have to focus in really quick on. While the lens is only like 12mm shorter, it's like it's a pancake 40mm, same optically, it is cumbersome to manually focus that lens. But that lens also, if you wanted the older version, is also available from CameraQuest. Check out the Flickr page for the Voigtlander 40mm f2. It is different enough. It's kind of like the slightly, I'd say the stepsister, the cousin to the Voigtlander 58mm 1.4, which stands in its own league. But this is a really sharp lens. By the way, also too, I wanted to mention it's one of the sharpest Voigtlanders out there. The 58mm 1.4 is not that incredibly sharp. Now, both of these lenses have identical characteristics, also found amongst themselves between the 58 and the 40, and also most Zeiss lenses. And that's a significant amount of chromatic aberration. So if you're worried about that, you can't fix that in Adobe Camera Raw, ACR. I mean, yeah, you can. Some people worry about that. You shouldn't, however. Fixing CA is no issue at all, but it does have a significant amount of chromatic aberration. But that's because it's a simple 6-element lens design with really good micro contrast and is really contrasty and great bokeh. And it is a great lens, and I put my money where my mouth is. I own a couple of these lenses, and this one now. I might get rid of one of the pancakes since I only need 2 of these. Well, I really only need 1 of these lenses. I should speak truth to power, right? Do you really need 2 of them? I'm not going to live that long. Do you really need 2? Meaning me. Like, the answer is no. Maybe I got a lens fetish, Of all the things you could be accused of in life, and a lens fetish probably ranks really low on the scale. It's like there's drugs and alcohol and being mean and abusive. Like, yeah, a lens fetish probably isn't. Fetish is the incorrect word. Lens fetish doesn't rank that very high. But at least I could take all my lens experience and be helpful to people. I'm making recommendations on good lenses. So that's it. This is a Voigtlander 40mm f2 Ultron. Yep. Great lens. Good redesign, too. I'm glad they went with a really neat old non-AI but AIS looking Nikkor stylizing on the body for their new introductions on their lenses. Thank you so much. I'm going to go fix myself another pot of coffee. Yep, and warm my hands by the fire, right? Right. Bye.